I've saved my progress as nearly complete quadrant.ai found inside the O6 transform folder, so called, by the way, because we have nearly completed. We're going to finish things off in this exercise, as well as generate the other quadrants. I'll start things off by pressing Control R or Command R to get rid of the distracting rulers. And then I'm going to click on one of these flower shapes in order to select it with the black arrow tool. Now notice these guys, these elements right here, are by no means flowers, and you can draw them if you have a mind to. I'm going to replace them, however, with these flowers because they're good to go and I think they look great. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by cloning this flower just by dragging it, pressing and holding the Alt key or the Option key, and then dropping it into place like so. Then I'll go ahead and grab my Rotate tool here inside the toolbox, and I'll double-click on that Rotate tool icon to bring up the Rotate dialog box because I really don't care where the center of rotation is because the flower is not precisely located. I'll change the angle value to 45 degrees, press the Tab key to make sure I got it right. Indeed, I did, and I'll click on the OK button. All right, now I need to align the flower to the green element below it, so I'll press the V key in order to switch to the black arrow tool. I'll shift-click on that green element right there, and then I will click on it again. Not shift-click, just click on it again in order to make it the key object in the alignment. And then I'll go up to the control panel and notice horizontal align center right there. I want you to click on that, and it should scoot the flower over ever so slightly. All right, so now I'll click off both of the shapes in order to deselect them. I'll click on the flower, and I'll nudge it down into the desired position. That looks pretty good to me. Now I'll press the R key to switch to the Rotate tool once again, and I'll Alt or Option click at this guide intersection right there where the many guides meet. And I'll change the angle value to -90 degrees, press the Tab key in order to make sure I got it right. Indeed, I did. And I'll click on Copy in order to make a copy of the flower. And one more thing that I want to do. I'm going to switch back to my black arrow tool, and I'm going to click on this upright flower pattern. I want to use this same flower pattern in order to fill out these corner tiles. So as long as it's loose and it's not grouped with anything else, I'm going to go ahead and drag it down into this location. Except you know what? That's not how I should drag this. I should drag it by its center point right there, the center bottom point. So I'll go ahead and drag it like so, and I'll rely on Illustrator's auto scroll in order to take me down to that right-hand tile right there, and I will snap it into alignment with that guide intersection. Then I'll press the Alt or Option key and drop it into place. Very important that you press Alt or Option so that you clone the flower into this new location, and then I'll press Shift up arrow many times until the flower is almost dangerously close to the top of this tile because I need a little room to work here. And then I'll press the R key once again in order to switch to the Rotate tool. I'll Alt click or Option click at that exact same guide intersection that I snapped to a moment ago. Brings up the Rotate dialog box. This is a good rotation right there, -90 degrees. Click Copy, and I have a little bit of overlap where that skirt is concerned, but nothing that bothers me. Control D, that's Command D a couple of times on the Mac. And then if you had a mind to, what the heck, might as well get the star tool. Right at this location there, why don't we add a little bit of a 4-pointed star? Nothing like what we have now, this weird 8-pointed star. So I'll drag in just a little bit, and I'll press the Control key or the Command key on the Mac in order to make the star a little bit spikier like so. All right, now let's press the down arrow key 4 times in a row until we get a 4-pointed star like this. I need this to be a little spikier, so I'll press the Control key or the Command key on the Mac and drag those spikes out just a little bit. And to ensure that we have an upright star, I'll press and hold the Shift key. I know the shape isn't exactly what we're looking for, but this will ensure proper alignment. Then I'll go ahead and release my mouse button in order to create the star. Let's fill it with the yellow swatch. And then I'll go ahead and double-click on the Rotate tool icon in order to bring up the Rotate dialog box. This will ensure that I rotate around the center of the star, and I'll change this value to 45 degrees. And then press the Tab key to confirm that I have the right value. I do. Click OK in order to accept that modification. Let's go up to Stroke, here in the control panel, and I'll change Corner to Round Join, like so that we just round off those endpoints. And that looks pretty good. All right, so we're busy killing many birds at this point with one stone, I suppose. Actually, many stones being thrown at the many birds. But we do have this one group of flowers finalized. So why don't we go ahead and marquee around it like so. and then press Control G or Command G on the Mac in order to group those elements together. And then I'm going to go ahead and marquee around these elements like so. And make sure to fully marquee around them so you get everybody. That's going to also select the blue cross, so you want to shift-click on it in order to deselect it, and then press Control-G or Command-G on the Mac in order to group those elements together. And now if we twirl open the drawing layer, you should see blue cross plus this group that represents the quadrant, so I'll double-click on it and call it quadrant like so, and then click OK. And then this group right there represents outer tile. Let's call it that. And then click OK in order to accept that new name. All right, we are now ready to use these two groups, quadrant and outer tile, in order to finish off the design. And we will do exactly that in the next exercise.